Previously on Unbalanced Encounters.
Their Royal Highness, the Emperor Tsar, will be doubling next month's order.
The Empire needs us to kick it up a notch.
Interesting. Do you suppose that this has something to do with the fighting?
I stay out of politics for the most part. I'm just trying to get this job done, make sure my people have a place to live and work to do.
Only him and Leah and June had a monotone whisper. How much can that elder tree get us? Can we possibly subtract maybe a third of what we got? It's a plan that I might have. Had to get the Empress's employees out the way.
So you're excluding Marissa and Guard.
All right, go get them. As she runs off, you know about Agravar.
Fuck me, Isaac. Declaring war on the Emperor Tsar. We don't get like a plan or anything? Just a good feeling little quip?
Y'all know about Agravar and all their political issues right now? Before, I was your humble leader of Raleigh. I was a warden. And so I might be able to call on a few favors and distract the Empress.
We see Martin in the high watchtower at the top of the hill. He's standing post. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All of a sudden, you see the flare that Harissa gave Martin. Emergency! Everyone to their posts! There is a contingent of armed men arriving from the east! Agravar! One and all, and welcome to another episode of Unbalanced Encounters, the show that dares to ask, what if Brian Murphy had Matt Mercer's hair? I'm your host, Patrick Perini. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
I thought that was already answered.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. He did take on Matt Mercer's hair for fucking Starstruck, didn't he? Damn it, we're behind.
It was
Shit.
glorious.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. So we are recording truly from the most batshit series of time zones for what is basically the first time. I think it's like fucking 8 in the morning for Craig right now. How you doing, Craig? You doing okay?
I'm awake.
He's got his monster drink.
The thing is, this is
a big can of Monster.
This is a wonderful moment for me because I've never seen Craig look tired before. He's always so energetic.
Yeah.
It's very humanizing.
Because you usually get me
humanizing.
after the gym, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
D&D, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Might need to have some early morning gym time.
You fucking
I'm not
6
waking up
a.m.
early
gym
for this.
time. Let's
Really
fucking,
early.
let's
5 in the
fucking go.
Hell no.
Let's go.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a little I think it's appropriate because I feel like Isaac is probably pretty similarly fucking exhausted after the last 2 months. So it's called fucking method acting. Look at the fuck up.
It was all
We'll call
planned.
it that. I'm game with that. Let's do that.
If you all are ready, I have a little bit of scene setting to do. Y'all ready to dive in?
Ooh.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
fucking-
I'm
let's
ready.
fucking do
Let's
it. All right.
do it.
From the watchtower, Martin has sounded the alarm. A band of raiders astride boar and bighorn sheep are kicking up a cloud of dust on their way to rally. They ride under the banner of Agravar, held aloft by 2 wardens astride their riding birds. Isaac, you step from your office into a blanket of urgent fear. From the top of the hill, you survey Raleigh. Her timber walls promise some protection, but her doors stand wide to the western wields. Your people are on the verge of panic. You have 1 hour. What are your orders?
we were in our meeting room before, right?
Yeah. You were in your office. Everyone is starting to come out from behind you, right? Like, Benny is on your left. Leah is on your right. Scrumpy stumbles in from behind. Everyone is moving toward the door as you take in the scene.
All right, well, it's not like eventually this was going to happen from somewhere. Somebody find me Captain Harissa in guard. Leia, you lead the people. Try and find a safe area for the children and anyone who can't fight. Anyone who can fight, we have to set our perimeter up around the wall. And where the hell is June?
So you start giving orders. Leah is immediately like, I'm on it, and tears off to start rounding up everyone who can't take care of themselves, all the while sort of calling the alarm, echoing Martin's sentiment, letting people know to fall out of their houses. You see that Maurice takes off and is going to go check to see who might be in the mill, who might be able to take up arms here. You see Benny turn to you and say, I'll find Juniper. And she tears off, leaving a little bit of a cloud of dust behind her as well.
Insight check. The fuck?
Roll it. Give me an insight check on Benny. Give me an insight check.
Damn it, it's a 9.
She seems very sure that she'll be able to find June. You are just so thoroughly distracted by the threats that it might cause a moment that you can come back to, but not right now. Not what you need to be paying attention to. You see down by the gate, Guard and Harissa. Harissa is talking to Elmira, sort of down in that space.
Why all these kids run around with sticks? Get the kids! Get the kids out the way! Oh my goodness. Scrumpy! Where's Scrumpy?
Oh, what's up? What do you need?
Okay, Scrumpy. All right, I need you sober up for me. I know that's going to be a lot for you. Sober up for me, and then I need you to
do my best.
KT, Carl, and any other boys that we can. Get that gate shut, and then I want them behind the wall, ready to take out anybody who can get past us fighting at the gate.
Now that's thinking. All right, and he kind of grabs your lapel and he pulls you in real close.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can do that for you. We're gonna with the ball. We'll certainly take care of Raleigh. We are at your command. I'm just saying, this might be useful. And he slips a little flask into your pocket and takes off running.
No time
like drink. Rusty ladle. For Raleigh. And runs off toward the
my eyes are watering. Oh God, it's so strong. Oz, is there a way you could get like a station set up for any wounded or whatnot? It's probably gonna get a little crazy.
You're like talking to kind of no one because you haven't clocked Oz yet, and you eventually kind of look up and to the right a little bit, and Oz just has their like helping hand stuck into a salute, and just like from a distance is like, my feet are like wings, Isaac, and just running toward the infirmary.
Okay.
Go, Oz, go.
Now, just gotta find... And he's just gonna book it over to where he saw Guard and Harissa.
They are actively rushing up the hill trying to meet Martin at the watchtower. Elmira has been sort of dismissed, and you all convene right in front of the general store.
Yeah.
Isaac,
Yeah.
what are your orders?
Everybody all right? Everybody's fine? Everybody's cool? God, how you feeling? I'm asking Robot how they're feeling. Everything's fine.
Guard just looks at you. His face makes no expressions.
All right. Same as always. Cool. All right. Is it... So...
He's good.
The main objective is we cannot let anyone through that gate. So no matter how hard we have to fight, we are going to make sure that no one gets through that gate. The second objective is to make sure that our guard captain has clear line of sight for any shot that she needs to make. So don't let them through the gate, and don't let them get to our guard captain.
Do we know how long until they arrive?
Oh, we have maybe, what would it be, like 45 minutes now?
I mean, a little under an hour, definitely.
We got about an hour, guard. You got any ideas up there in your brain?
Trenches.
Yes. Okay.
If we can funnel them in, it might be easier to hold them back. I will start to build some, and Guard is going to make his way to the front.
I might have an idea for you to help you out, buddy. Are there any tools we use with the boar?
I don't need any tools.
Okay.
I do not need any tools.
I am a trench maker.
Guard, I love this idea. Go ahead and take inspiration for me.
Okay.
Ooh. Guard's a hoe.
And what Guard is going to do is Guard is going to sort of...
Wait, can we give that room to breathe? Can we give that a second?
Walk past.
Can we not step up?
I thought if I was slick, I could sneak past that.
No. That was too good of a fucking line.
Nope.
That's going on. You know, that's going on the fucking YouTube thumbnail. Is where that's going.
God is a hoe.
Guard is going to look to Harissa and Isaac before he goes, shoot a flaming arrow if you need me. I'll be in front of the town. And what Guard is going to do for the next, until somebody tells him to stop, is he's going to go, and he's going to, Guard is going to go, and this is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like Guard leaves the town, and he just sort of stands still. It's not even going to look like anything is really happening, but to a keen eye, someone might notice that the ground around his feet, it's almost like little mycelia sort of come up from the ground and connect to his feet. And I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes casting mold earth to dig trenches.
Fuck me, that's so cool. Level 3, baby!
Bravo.
And for anyone looking-
Holy fuck.
It's basically just somebody Guard standing there and parts of the ground going around him. And what I would like to do is sort of do that thing where you'd make like a V formation. So it's like they have one, they can't surround us. They have like a really narrow path that they can enter the town within.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Nice bottleneck.
and
I like
make
it.
any area that they're going to be coming in, if I have time, difficult terrain as well, because those are the two things.
Okay.
Nice.
He's a level 3 hoe.
Level 3 hoe.
Love it.
I will say that this is all happening in sort of the immediate clearing right outside of the door, which is kind of a very well-defined space before the beginning of the Western Weald's tree line. So you are kind of making the area up to the tree line difficult terrain and creating this funnel structure.
I think Harissa, after she sees Guard sort of run off, will turn to Isaac and just say, how much damage would you like me to do to them? How many do you want me to leave alive?
And you said he saw 2 wardens?
2 wardens, and I mean, you haven't seen anything.
Oh, okay.
But Martin has reported that there are at least there are 2 wardens carrying banners, and it's a raiding party of maybe a dozen, maybe more.
Shoot to maim, unless they cause more of a disturbance than we need. We want to scare them off, not kill them, for the most part.
Right. DM, I'm going to go into the general store, or the warehouse of the general store, where those bombs fell out that time. So I'd like to get some of those, please.
Go ahead and roll me a D4, if you please.
Oh, okay.
Get the boom booms.
Get the boom booms. Oh, hang on. Roll. Oh, a 4.
All right, you find 4 of them. You get
Sweet.
you get sort of the end of your bow into a crate, crunch it open. Little box, 4 of these things come tumbling out. Again, the way these are constructed is that they are stones effectively filled with black powder and wax capped with a fuse. So you can use them if you would like. They do a D6 within a radius. You can also empty out the black powder if you're so interested. Whatever you want to do.
I would like to empty out the black powder and sort of use the fuses to make a few of my arrows into like exploding tip arrows, please? Thank you.
So polite. So polite, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck me, that's really good.
Thank you, please.
Okay, take inspiration, first of all, because that's fucking amazing.
Hey!
Second of all,
Hey!
yes. Yes, 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 yes. 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 Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm homebrewing on the fly. This is phenomenal. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Sorry.
It is going to take a bonus action to light these things.
Mm-hmm.
They explode at the end of the turn that they were lit on. Mm-hmm. So if you light them as a bonus action and then try to hold it for the end of your turn, it will blow up on you. They are going to do a D6 in a radius. I'm effectively just giving you... What's your longbow range? Like 300 feet? I'm effectively just giving you 300 feet on these grenades.
Woo! Okay,
Dang.
cool. I'm happy with that.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I'll be getting Spinks to light the fuse for me, so that makes sense for a bonus action. Yeah.
Like I said, you get a bonus action on the turn, and then by the end of that turn, they blow up. So time yourself accordingly.
Yeah, that's fine. And I will head to the tower.
Okay.
Scooting off, giving a nod to Isaac as I go.
Harissa, as you reach the top of the tower, you see maybe a half hour's ride away 2 Warden bannermen, a half dozen obvious mercenaries, and what look to be somewhere on the order of 20 or so ragtag commoners, armed with clubs and farming sickles atop bighorn sheep.
This is giving me a moral quandary. Who's around near the tower at the moment? Is Isaac
No.
now near the tower as well?
Unless Isaac was going to the tower specifically, I'd say.
No, he probably would have just tried. He's focused on getting that gate closed, so he's probably going to head towards like the boar or whoever he told to get.
Yeah.
Oh, is the tower not near there?
No, the tower's at the top of the hill, gate to the bottom.
Oh, so I'm like behind
You
the
are
gate.
as far away from the gate as you can be in Raleigh without going into the mountain.
I see. Yep. Righto. Okay. I'm gonna try and signal if I can sort of whistle very loudly, or make a loud sound. I don't know if there's like a bell or something.
There's a gong up there. Yeah,
a warning bell, a gong, to get Isaac's attention, and just try and sort of like, the way the sort of military have like hand signals they can kind of like use to try and sort of like
I love this.
Wall of numbers.
I love this.
I'm doing that to Isaac to just kind of like tell him how many people are coming.
So, Harissa, you have not received much in the way of formal military training. You were originally recruited as someone who could go off into the sticks and do this odd job and hopefully be self-sufficient. You've served with the military for some time, but not in a strongly official capacity. You've never been a commanding officer. What you're trying to do now is you're trying to approximate this world's thieves' cant, which is the Warden language. Isaac speaks this, and so I'm going to give you advantage, but I need a performance check from you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's fun.
Performance. Oh, no, it's -1. I apologize.
I do.
Advantage, though, you say? Okay. 15?
Pretty good.
That is pretty good. Isaac, the information is extremely clear. 30 head are headed to your front door.
Wardens and just the 30 bodies?
You know that there are wardens because that's the scuttlebutt that's been going around. Martin has yelled that there were wardens. All you now know is that there are 30 people headed to your front door.
30. Well, we might have to actually kill a few just to get them scattering. All right.
Where are these damn boy? We gotta get this gate closed.
You see Scrumpy just atop Caden Thomas, just like, onward, noble steed! And just a herd of boar just trundling down the hill, and they all just sort of slam themselves into this door, pushing it shut right behind guard. And as they go to slam the door the final way, an axe in the way of a boar. And Big Paul says, I'll take up out front. Yell if you need anything. And he slips out, and the door, boom, slams shut behind him.
Oh, Big Paul.
All the women get hot flushes. Oh, goodness.
Oh, goodness.
What a man. What a man.
Just being inspired by Big Paul's, like, inspiring speech, as we'll call it. Isaac looks to Carl. He looks Carl dead in his eyes. He goes, all right, listen here, Carl. And he grabs him by the tusk. And he's like, in his mind, he's like, why am I talking to this boar? This is ridiculous. But something in him is making him want to have this conversation. And he casts speaks with animals.
Oh! Okay.
All right. Do it.
Now, we have our differences, Carl. But you and me know that KTA's the face, but you are the true leader of this pack.
Honestly, thank you. I have been trying to... This is the validation that I've needed for some time.
I read people. That's my thing, Carl. So I've been giving you slack, but I know you can take it. But I need you to lead these boys in this battle for Raleigh. We need this, Carl.
Carl is going to roll. Carl is going to roll a wisdom check. Because I am going to see what Carl's thoughts are in terms of leading these boar into battle.
This damn pig.
That is a natural one.
Okay, awesome.
He looks you dead in the eye. He looks you dead in the eye and says, all right, you got it, boss. And gives you just like a deep performative bow and sort of pulls himself away and just... And all of the boars start grunting rhythmically in a hype-up chant.
Scrumpy, you drunk? Nothing just happened. I gotta go.
Yeah, you see Scrumpy is just like, all right. June, where are you?
I don't know. The last place I was at was my father's grave.
This would have been a little while later.
Oh, yeah.
This is at the end of our month of downtime, pretty much within a couple days. And, you know, you realistically wouldn't have had a specific job for this time, right? Like, the milling is going, the refining is going, people are starting to pull together plans for getting the shipments to where they need to be, which, as far as you're aware, is still entirely the Imperial capital. No one's gone out on a logging expedition because, you know, it's going to take time to work on these trees, and you guys know what Porky is expecting when you go back out there. What have you been doing?
I mean, depending on what time of day.
I'd say late afternoon, early evening.
Late afternoon? Because she trains every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Absolutely.
So if Isaac had some kind of meeting that she was not involved in, and Guard and Harissa were off doing other things, then she was probably hanging out in the woods and working on her footwork.
Ooh, that's fun. June, you are going through the motions as taught to you by your mother. And I think we see something that almost kind of resembles Tai Chi, just a centering of the self and a practicing of form with no rapidity, just reiteration. And from behind, you hear a twig snap and a gentle thump as something lands behind you. What do you do?
I turn around to see what it is.
You spin around. There is a person in front of you. You do not immediately clock who it is.
There's a person?
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sorry. You scared me.
Oh, Juniper.
Oh.
That was not exactly the reaction I was hoping for.
What reaction were you hoping for there, Benny?
She reaches out, kind of lightly touches one of the earrings dangling from your ears.
Kind of shake my head back and forth.
They suit you.
Thank you. Harissa did a really good job, Pearson. There was no swelling, there was no bleeding.
Well, there wouldn't be, now would there?
What do you mean?
Perception check.
It's a 12.
You see, from just below the fold of her loose-fitting top around her wrist, a thin, sterling silver bracelet with a single sapphire teardrop. And she lets it kind of slip behind as she repositions her hands and nods and says, "Raiders from the east. We have work to do, Juniper."
What?
It's time.
They're here?
Yes.
There's raiders here?
Yes, June.
Are they coming to attack us? Are they...
Yes!
Are they here
Juniper.
on diplomatic...
June. June.
Yes?
Your mother did very well to teach you all of the diplomacy you might ever need. Unfortunately, she did not stay long enough to teach you how to defend what is yours.
I've been working on it. I've been trying to... I trained with Isaac and Guard a bit. Didn't do too well, but I've been working on it.
Well, now's your chance, June.
I'm supposed to fight those guys?
We're going back to Isaac for orders.
And he's not talking to them? Why can we just talk to them? Maybe they're not here to fight us. Maybe we'll just have a conversation. Oz can make some tea, we can sit down. Maybe they're here for a party. Who knows? She's smiling.
What's your AC?
It's 15.
That's an 18 on the die.
Oh no.
That's a 15 total.
What is Benny doing?
That's a 15 total. And that's a 17 on the die. Benny hits you for 2 points of damage upside the head.
Ow!
And then 3 more times in rapid succession
Benny!
in the chest, pulling every punch for no damage.
God, what's that for?
If anyone else had been in that tree, and you had turned around and said, "Oh, I didn't expect to see anyone here," you'd be dead, Juniper.
Now, Benny, to be fair, the only things I've had to protect myself against is the wrath of Isaac.
I know.
I got in my first fight like a month ago.
You have lived your entire life in a safe place. So few people can say the same. Your parents and Isaac, God bless the giant idiot, work tirelessly to ensure that does not go away for you. Now you must make a decision. You can follow me, we can go get our orders from Isaac, and we can do what we can for Raleigh. Or you can stay in the woods and try your best at unilateral diplomacy. And she turns and starts walking away.
I'm coming. I'm coming. A little bit because I'm not sure I know what unilateral means, but and how to do it in the woods. But I'm coming. And she jogs up next to Benny, and she says, "I guess you're right. I've been very sheltered, and I recognize the privilege that I've been afforded, and I'm just, I don't know, I feel like everybody's first instinct is they want to fight something, or they want to fight us, or...
June, there is a time for talking, and there is a time for fighting in ball gowns.
What did you say?
Isaac, you see from the top of the front wall, Benny throw her leg over, put her arm down, and hoist June up over the front wall. And they both kind of land on the little parapet. Isaac, what are your orders?
Is everyone here now?
Everyone's within earshot except for Harissa.
Oh, is Harissa 30 feet away?
Is there like space for me on the wall that I could kind of like...
The way that I've been envisioning it is that there's basically like a log that holds these things into place that's up high enough that if you are on it, you can see over the top of the wall. But it's one person deep, right? It's like 3 feet wide.
Yeah. It's I'd imagine I'm up there near the gate.
And so Harissa and June and Benny are on this lip. Guard and Big Paul are on the other side of the door, but I'll say within earshot. And you can have anyone else that you need on hand.
Isaac turns to everyone, and he's like, be honest, I don't know what Agravar wants right now, but from what I'm knowing about numbers, it's not to have a conversation. But, and he throws his axe into the dirt, I will be willing to talk to him, but everyone behind me, be prepared for anything worse. At the end of the day, this is Raleigh, and we need to stand our ground. We're not going to let anyone just push us around, whether it be the Empress, Elder Gods, or otherwise. And he's going to cast Bless on Guard, Juniper, and Harissa.
Cool.
Aww. Thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
What does that mean?
You add a D4 to your saving throws and any attack rolls.
Isaac, what does it look like when you cast Bless?
To everyone else, it's like a kind of very inspirational speech, or Isaac talking out his ass like he usually does. But with that, there's you guys ever have one of those I don't know if you hike or anything, but you're just on a traveling walk or a hike, and the breeze is blowing that perfect cool breeze, and the sun is shining in the sense where it's not in your eyes, but it's also not beating down on you, and just the the nature itself just seems to be on your side for that day, and you're just feeling like this is a good day. That is what this.
I love that.
Cool.
I like that a lot.
As a matter of fact, it looks like that, too. As the sun beams seem to chariot themselves down through the canopy in the evening of the Western Wields. And Big Paul kind of looks up and notices the sunset, turns to Guard and gives him a nod, stands back, raises his axe. Fortier, Young T.
Ortier no Young T. No.
Hello, you beautiful listeners, and welcome to the middle of the episode. My name is Cinder, and my goodness, I have got some wonderful information to share with you. For example, you know Emily? She plays Harissa. She's wonderful. Also plays Mr. Spinks. And, of course...
Did you say Spinks?
Oh, I did. Hi there, Mr. Spinks. What's
Hi.
up?
I heard my name.
Yeah, well, I was
You
just...
know my-
You know Emily? She plays you?
Yeah.
Well, her and Patrick is the dungeon master. Did you know that they were on another podcast recently? It's actually out right now. Like, people could go listen to it.
No. She's not allowed.
No,
She has to
it's
be
not
on
like
this
that.
podcast all the time.
It's not like
To
that,
be
Mr.
me?
Spinks, it's not like that. She's not leaving the show.
Oh.
She's still a big part of the show.
Okay.
Still a fan fave.
'Cause, you know, I want to exist.
Yeah, and you're a fan
I
favorite.
don't wanna-
No, I know. But listen,
yeah.
trust me, I'm going to tell you about it. You're going to love it. It was a show called Between Lewis and Lovecraft. It's a podcast where they talk about books and writing and literature and things like that, and talking specifically
could
about
read.
the creation of Rally, the process of making Rally, like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And it's out right now. Anyway, I don't know. Do you know how internet works? Do you have internet, Miss?
I mean, do you ask Mr. Spinks if he knows how internet works?
I do. I mean, I don't want to make any.
He does not, in fact, know how internet works.
That's okay. It's just like don't worry about it then. But anyway, for everyone that does know how the internet works, if you go to lewisandlovecraft.com, that's LEWIS and Lovecraft, spelled like Lovecraft.com. Yeah, Lewis, like Lewis Carroll. Yeah. So anyway, you can hear Emily and Pat talk about behind the scenes Rally stuff, and it's out right now, so people should know that. But also, Spinks, do you like being called Spinks or Mr. Spinks?
To you,
yeah,
Mr. Spinks.
Okay, Mr. Spinks, I apologize. But also, Mr. Spinks,
I appreciate.
Have you heard of the Patreon? Do you know we have a Patreon?
Patreon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Patreon is a way that people can support the show, help finance a lot of the stuff that's going on here, help pay for the software that we're using, all the nonsense and
help
things
pay
like that.
for my dresses.
Yeah, and your dresses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the dresses. I'm waiting. My tailor is still fixing one. I wanted the little pockets.
Yeah.
And they forgot the pockets.
They forgot the pockets.
Dresses should have pockets.
Yeah, well, you know how the patriarchy is.
What else am I supposed to put in my chocolate? My truffles?
I don't know.
Or put them, up my sleeve?
You have sleeves?
Ridiculous. On the dress.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. A sleeve pocket would be cool. But wait a minute. Let's just take a step back here. So, in addition to you existing through the podcast, there's also like music and stuff like that.
Oh.
So for folks that join the Patreon, they get access to all sorts of content. They get access to the soundtrack of the show, and they get access to
I like that. That's
it's cool music and stuff. And we do this thing called rebalancing. We have behind the scenes things. People can ask questions to the creators, to us. And in the most recent rebalancing live, the person who made the music, Sayer, was on the show.
Oh, I like that guy. He's cool.
It was the first time I talked to him. I'd never talked to him before. It was
He's
great.
so cool.
Yeah, and that was really fun.
You should all go listen. It's very good. I'm not in it, So that might put some people off, but I think you should still listen.
Yeah,
it's still good.
It made me sad that you weren't there, if I'm going to be honest, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, Emily's pretty
okay.
cool. I do like hanging out with her when she is around.
She's alright.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. But that's just some of the content. There's also like in-depth things related to the show. For example, do you remember in the episode where June wrote a letter and put it on her father's grave?
Yeah, that made Spink sad.
It was a very sad moment for us all. But if you join the Patreon, you can see that letter. That letter that June wrote to her dad is on the Patreon.
Wait, that's private. I don't think anyone should be looking.
I think that June said that we could use it.
Oh,
yeah. You know how June is. She's a capitalist. She loves putting stuff behind paywalls. You know how we do. You know how it is. She puts on a show when the cameras are running.
June.
Yeah, she puts on a show when the cameras are running. But when we're hanging out behind the scene, you know how she is.
Cinder.
Yeah.
Cinder,
yeah.
could you? What is a capitalist?
Listen, it's not the best. It's not the best. It is something we have to put up with in regular society, unfortunately, because they do hold a lot of power.
Okay.
But don't worry about it.
If anyone wants to send me a letter explaining what a capitalist is, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not the guy to ask. I'm a dingus malingus. But there's more to that. So just as you are part of the show, Mr. Spinks, we're coming on a new arc soon, and within that arc, we're gonna have a bunch of space for NPCs, other people that live in the world. And if people join the Patreon, they get to give those people names. They get to help define who these people are.
That's pretty cool.
It's like being a god.
Can I name one?
No, unless you join the Patreon.
Oh.
Do you have a Patreon account? Do you have like a PayPal or something?
Seeming as I do not know how the internet works, probably not.
Probably not. You could ask Carissa, maybe. Maybe she could hook that up.
Yeah, maybe she could teach me.
Yeah.
I think Emily could probably teach me. Maybe I get she said like an email address. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You don't have an email address?
No. If people want me to have one, maybe I could have one.
Okay.
Could I have an email address?
I'll talk to Patrick about this behind the scenes, because I do think that you should have an email address, and people should be able to things. In fact, I'm saying it right now. That's on the Patreon. It's going on the Patreon. Y'all want to email Mr. Spinks?
Yeah.
Patreon.
I'm gonna get the fan mail. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Exactly. Oh man, this is a win-win.
So
This is a win-win, Mr. Spinks. I'm glad you're so happy. Oh, don't start crying. I'm gonna start crying, and I can't. I have to be strong here. I'm supposed to be the straight man in this bit, and if I get emotional, it's not gonna work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay.
You know what makes me feel better when I'm sad?
What?
Putting on my dress.
Yes.
I recommend it to everybody. You want to feel better? You put on dress. It's very good.
There was one more thing I wanted to say to the people out there, Mr. Spinks, and you can, I'm sure you can support this. What's more powerful than friendship?
Chocolate.
Okay, fair. But other than chocolate, there's not much out there, right? And we are about to end a pretty big arc, our first big arc, and enter into our second. And that is a really great place to sell people on the idea, to pitch the show to your friends, that's a really great place to bring new people into the show. They have a whole, basically season 1 is pretty much out.
That's a great idea. I think, yes, that if anyone wants to listen, now is the time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be listening to like hundreds of episodes. And I mean, some people wouldn't mind listening to me for hundreds of episodes.
I can't think of anyone who would mind it, if I'm being honest.
I think it's so flattered. I should come on this middle more often.
Oh, Mr. Spinks, you're always welcome here. And to just hammer in that point a little bit, if you are somebody that likes our show, that has been enjoying the show so far, that enjoy Mr. Spinks, if there's anyone in your life, whether it's people that are in your adventuring parties, whether it's just folks that you know in the world, maybe it's forums that you regularly hide within, share the show. Ancestors, of course. Yeah, definitely share with your ancestors. Share the show. There's nothing stronger than word of mouth, and we live or die by your support. So whether or not you want to join the Patreon and do all of that, if there's anybody out there that you think would like our silly, sometimes serious, sort of D&D, sort of radio play nonsense that we're putting on, put it in front of them. We'd appreciate it.
Please. I don't want to die. Thank you.
All right, my friends. we are entering into basically a siege, which I think is going to be one of the more interesting combat mechanics that we have had here. So I am going to need, first and foremost, everyone to roll me initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is going to be a relatively large fight, the way this is going to work is that there are a couple of things that you guys should be aware of. First of all, you all can use your bonus action to give a command to anyone in Rally, and they will be able to immediately act on that command. No one in Rally will have initiative order outside of that. No one will be taking actions outside of your command, other than some minor, maybe passive stuff, like if you don't give Oz a command, they will just man the infirmary behind the scenes, right? So if you want somebody to do something specific, you need to use a bonus action to get them to do it.
Can I ask, what about Big Paul? What will he be doing if we don't ask
Big Paul is mostly going to be standing in the trench looking menacing and trying to keep people out, right? Like, if someone attacks him...
So even Big Paul, we have to be like...
Did we make sure he's extra oiled down?
Yes, sure.
He distracts them and
Keep the oil on Big Paul!
100%.
Keep him extra shiny. Yeah.
And then the last relevant thing here is that this combat is going to be happening in waves. In between waves, whenever you guys finish a wave, I will be giving you each one turn to do something similar to this setup, right? So you can take a little bit of time to set another trap, you can fix something, you can help someone, you could heal someone, you can give some orders and ensure that they're followed through. You can take one kind of chunk of time to prepare for the next wave, and then we're going to move into that wave. We see the town rallied. The boar form a protective phalanx behind the wooden door to the western wheels. In front of it, trenches and difficult terrain, rocks and crags and hills churned up by guards' connection to the forest, as if in response to a request. Big Paul stands behind him, ready to defend his back. Inside the town, Isaac stands alongside Leah and Maurice and Whiskers and Scrumpy and the mill workers and the refinery workers and anyone else that can wield a weapon. Along the inside lip of the wall, Benny, June, and Harissa make a patrol. As the first of the boar and bighorn sheep tear their way into battle.
I turn to Big Paul, and Guard says, "We give Isaac an opportunity to talk, but if they cross the threshold, we are not taking prisoners today."
Shall I consider that an order, friend?
More of a game plan, friend.
As you've said, it will be fun playing with you.
Guard is not a creature that has facial expressions.
Nope.
But if he did, in this moment, Guard would smile a little bit.
Amazing. I like that. I like it.
You see at the edge of the wood, the raiding party sort of disappears into and behind the trees. You can kind of hear Boar and Ram shoving brush and bramble and trunk out of the way as they kind of crash and careen up to the line that you have effectively defined here. And Then things start to quiet. And you hear "Is this the town of Raleigh?"
Isaac's gonna respond? Who's asking, friend?
"By the order of the sovereign state of Agravar, we are here to relieve you of your elderwood resin."
Insight check? Can I do one of those?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a dirty 20.
I mean, a dirty 20 is fucking great. This voice seems to be telling the truth. It's an Agravar accent.
Why don't you show your face for me so we can get a better understanding of this conversation, friend?
An arrow flies over the wall, and I am going to give Harissa 3/4 cover here. I don't believe a 14 is going to hit if you have a +5 to your AC from 3/4 cover.
Hey, watch where you shoot those arrows! Shh. Spinks, be quiet.
Yeah, I wasn't asking. You're going to turn over your resin, or we're going to knock your wall down.
Did he just say he's gonna knock our wall down?
Well, as intimidating as a missed shot in your very authoritative voice, I'm gonna have to decline your awful, friend.
All right, we are now in initiative order. Isaac, it is your turn.
All right, and now that he knows there's not gonna be any conversation, Isaac, I guess Isaac would use his full movement to get over the wall and jump in the fray with Guard and Big Paul.
What is your move speed?
30.
60 is not going to do it. They're 20-foot walls. You do not have climb speed. So you can give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics? Not athletics?
Yep.
I'm climbing.
I could see athletics. I could see athletics. You can give me athletics.
You DM. Of course. Jeez. That's a nat one.
Isaac, you get to the top. And then you fall over, taking 2 points of falling damage. And landing next to the trench.
Guard is gonna just reach down and just pick Isaac up, get him onto his feet.
You can do that on your turn. We are in initiative.
I'm sorry, I forgot we're in initiative.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
Isaac, you are now prone. You have no movement. That was movement action. Any bonus actions from you?
No!
All right. Leaving it on the table. Next up in initiative order is going to be, our archer friend. Isaac, you just caused quite a commotion. I think you hear, "All right, platoons, recruits, y'all know what to do. Get in there, get up there, use the ladders. We're gonna open that door from the inside." And then we are going to take another shot at Harissa. Actually, you know what? No, I think we're going to take a shot at with disadvantage at a prone Isaac.
Sweet.
Oh.
That's a nat 1. Isaac, so wide of the mark, just like the wall behind you, roughly. And we're going to go to the next one, who's going to do basically the same thing, because if they could take you out, much more respectable. Isaac, does a 19 hit?
19 hits.
7 points of piercing damage as this arrow chunks into your shoulder.
Ah!
Guard, it's your turn.
Are all the arrows coming from sort of the same spot in the forest?
Yeah, pretty much exactly the same spot.
without a word, Guard is going to look in that area of the forest, and the trees around that part of the forest are going to quiver a little bit, and a slight breeze is going to start to grow as almost like from a old monster movie, a thick mist is going to rise out from the ground of that area, completely concealing the area of the archers in a cloud of fog as Guard casts Fog Cloud, so that if the archers want to keep shooting, they got to get real close.
What the fuck is happening? Oh man, you hear murmurs kick up. People are starting to get a little bit nervous as it happens. Guard.
And then with my bonus action, Guard is going to turn to Big Paul, and he's going to say, "Help up Isaac, and let's keep this line."
All right. And he pulls himself out of the trench. Isaac, come on your feet. On your feet.
I'm just taking a little nap.
You're right. Yeah. And he breaks the arrow off just a little bit so that it's less sticking out, and says, "You might want to leave that in until you get an opportunity to see Oz. Keep it up." And he hops back into the trench, readies his axe. Harissa, you have just seen a fog cloud. First of all, you saw Isaac fully just fall off of the rally wall.
I'm fine.
Right? Like, that can't be understated. And then you saw Guard call a mist up around these archers, which you didn't have great visibility to them in the first place. They were kind of tucked into the trees. So it hasn't really hurt you all that much. However, they now can't see you, it would appear.
Well, what I'm going to do is just sort of aim for the center of the fog cloud.
Okay.
And hope for the best. I'm going to get out one of my
I gave you bombs.
One of my specials.
I gave you fucking bombs. I gave you fucking bombs.
Yes, you did. And DM, I'm going to ask.
Yep.
I have infused strikes as well. So it says when I make a weapon attack, I get extra damage. Does that count for my arrows as well?
Yeah.
She's going to be doing
Yay! So
60 points of damage in one arrow.
So Spinks, I kind of look at him while I'm pulling out my arrow and with the little fuse is ready. And he looks at me and just goes, "Light him up, Zephyr!" So he's going to spit a little bit of fire on the fuse. I pull it back and I'm going to release into the center of the fog cloud.
Okay.
What do I need to roll?
Give me your fucking spell save DC.
Oh, yeah. Save DC is 13.
Okay. That's one success. That's one failure. That's one success. Fail. Success. Fail.
Let's do this for 30 characters.
Oh my god. How many people are you hitting?
Yeah, quite a bit. They were not strategically displaced. So, Harissa, I am going to need you to roll me a d6 for the bomb arrow plus anything else that you add with your silly fucking infused strikes.
Yeah, it's another d6. So I'll roll 2 d6
roll me
and
2
then
D6.
That'll be good. Come on, something good. Ooh, a 9.
All right. Holy shit. Okay. Amazing.
And it's fire damage. I don't know if that makes any difference.
Well,
In a forest, never.
I mean, true.
you just killed so many fucking people.
Oh my
You
God.
hear screaming and the absolute chaos of a squadron of soldiers falling to pieces. Boar and bighorn sheep are tearing out, coats on fire, running in all directions. Some of them trip and stumble into the fucking trenches. One of them actually blows past Guard and like slams itself into the fucking door and then just like falls over and kind of skitters away. It is fucking chaos down there.
I love the smell of fire in the morning.
That's right. That's right. We gave archers bombs, you dumbasses. Okay?
Children got knives and archers got bombs.
Jesus. Unfucking believable. Okay, well, that's your turn. That was action to bonus action. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
From inside this sort of wooded enclave, you guys hear, "Oh, fuck, what the hell? All right, everybody know, stick together. Stick together, you cowardly bastards. In formation. In formation." Move! Take the door! And you all see several squads of very poorly armed soldiers, in heavy quotations, largely on bighorn sheep, carrying ladders. Some of them have, slightly shorter ladders that are carrying them on their own. Some of them have like 2 to a ladder and they're kind of in single file. And they are kind of pushing their way through the forest here. Guard, I'm going to give you an opportunity attack. And Isaac, I am also going to give you an opportunity attack, each on one target as they push through.
Oh, yeah.
Are they attacking us, or are they trying to get to the gate?
They're trying to get to the gate, so they're just moving through.
Bad roll, 10.
A 10, I think, actually does hit these fuckers. It does. It just hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
11 damage.
Yeah. You tell me, you kill one of these bighorn sheep mounted fighters. What does it look like?
So as these guys started to charge past, Guard is going to take his axe and sort of pivot and do like almost like a swing around and use his momentum and knock one of the guys off the off the bighorn sheep. And then his axe is going to be like embedded in the guy's chest, and he's going to have to like shake the guy's body off his axe, like you would have to like shake something off a knife.
Damn!
And it falls to the ground.
God, I love Guard. He falls to his death, and the bighorn sheep charges forward. Isaac, do you want to take an attack of opportunity?
I would like to take my attack, but I also have Speak with Animals is still up for 10 minutes.
Fuck. Okay, I will let you take cool. your reaction to try to speak to one of these bighorn sheep if you like.
No, I just wanted to call out in sheep, if that's a thing.
It is.
Dr. Doolittle over here.
Something like just an intimidation or something of just wolves at the gates. There's wolves everywhere.
That's so good.
So fucking good.
So do I just see like Isaac just going like into the air?
Just full like war cry stance of like a warrior, and then you
All right. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check here.
Okay.
This is your reaction, by the way.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Against the sheep.
I'm down with that.
It's very fucking good.
That's a 20.
Let's fucking go! Go!
That's fucking great. All right, so you do not actually do any damage to these things, but you do manage to turn. There are currently about 12 of these things, a dozen of these things bearing down on you. Now 11 because Guard has killed one. You send 6 of them just wheeling back toward the wood line for the moment. However, 6 of them get through, and all of a sudden 3 20-foot ladders are up against the wall. And so that is going to come around to June. June, you have just seen some pretty buck wild shit, but the thing that's probably most germane to you is that you see a ladder, the top of a ladder, just land against Rally's wall right in your face.
I'm going to use my bonus action to call out to our friends on the wall and say, y'all, we got to take down these ladders. And then I'm going to use my quarterstaff, two-handed, to smack away the ladder.
Amazing. Please give me an athletics check.
That is a 16.
Yeah, without any issue. You feel some resistance kind of coming from the base, but without too much issue, you just boom, and push it away. You turn to see Benny jump and just spin kick it.
Damn, that's badass, Benny.
That is going to be back to Isaac.
Let's cause some chaos. Let's get some rumors going. Just on one of these little farmer guys who's out in the open and just out of his frustration of falling off the gate, then getting shot by an arrow, and then literally screaming at sheep like he's a farmer. Like the frustration is heavy. And he channels divinity to nature's wrath.
Ooh.
And just like Darth Vader force choke, and vines and roots and everything claw out the ground. He has to make a DC 12 strength or dex save.
All right, I'm gonna roll for him. That's a 2 on the dot.
Cool. Yes.
Isaac, you focus in on your target, and you reach out your hand and make a fist. And it's as if you've grabbed a hold of a beating heart. As roots, blood red and the barest of translucent, wrap themselves around this man's ankles and to the base of his throat. Oh man, what the fuck's happening? I don't like this place very much, boys! And he is now fully restrained. All right, that's it for Isaac's turn. We are going to move to the archers. They are frantically trying to get their men in line, but they are going to take their opportunity to attack, I think, guard at this point. And so they're going to be rolling with disadvantage, but it's going to be guard. You see one arrow into the trench behind you, and you kind of turn to look at it, and you miss one arrow grazing the side of your head that then slams into the shank of a bighorn sheep that rears back and throws its owner into one of your trenches, who is now prone. The first archer rolled in that one. Guard, it is your turn.
I'm going to look to Big Paul. I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm going to get that guy before he stands up. Guard is going to run past the one that's wrapped up in the vines. And Guard is going to say to the vine, "Glad you joined us." And then run over to the guys at the wall and take a reckless swing at one of the people that's setting up the ladder.
As you stop into this man who is now bound, you hear through a choke, "What the fuck are you?" In just pure terror. You get over to the wall, and you said you were going to attack some of the people trying to get ladders back up?
Yeah, it's a 23 on a hit, so that's probably going to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Go ahead and roll damage.
7 damage.
Guard, once again, you just absolutely cleave this man. What does it look
After
like?
Guard says thanks to the Bloodvines for joining the fight, Guard is going to just run up with his axe. Whoever is like the most done setting up a ladder, he just plant the axe into his back, and I imagine he's just going to go through the guy, and if possible, like chunk into the ladder also. And then he's going to position himself to start taking on the other guys, and that'll be my turn.
Harissa, you are up.
I'm gonna do the bomb because I think there's more chance of me potentially hitting someone.
What's your spell save DC?
13, I think it was. I'm just double checking.
Okay. You do manage to hit. You can use a D6, or if you choose to use Infused Strike, 2D6 against this one.
Okay, I will do my 2d6 again, because that can't hurt. Oh, I got an 11 this time.
Okay, 11 damage. You hear some ruckus. You're not entirely sure what happened. The bighorn sheep drivers manage to start to turn their sheep around. They make it up to the trenches on the other side, and then we've got the ones that are up against Guard, of all fucking people. Guard, did you reckless last turn or no?
Every turn.
Okay. Then they're going to have advantage for the lot of good that it'll do them. 14.
14 misses.
15.
15 misses.
These two that are on top of you, just like club and sickle, just trying to swing on you, just clanking off. These are gardening implements. They're nothing. And that is going to be it for them. There is one ladder that has been set up and not addressed by anyone. It is relatively close to Harissa. And at this point, two of them get up to where Harissa is. So they're going to take swings on her. Harissa does a 15 hit.
Yes.
Right out of the gate, that's 1 point of slashing damage. And he is going to climb up onto the ledge with you. The next one's going to get up a 9 misses. Okay, you've got 2 up there with you. June, you have just seen two of these recruits get up onto the lip, kind of hand-to-hand combat with Harissa. The other 2 ladders are still down. Guard seems to be handling that contingent pretty solidly. What do you do?
I'm going to go up to whichever one is the closest to her. I guess they're both equally. And take some pop shots.
Fuck him up.
At him. Pop, pop. With unarmed strike. Haha, that's a 9.
A 9 misses.
You are blessed.
Can I do that? Because I'd really like to do that.
I'll just give this to you. You roll anything, and you'll hit their AC. So you do hit them. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, cool. Yay!
Fucking unarmored peasants.
That's a 4.
June, what does this look like?
She's gonna go in with a 1-2 punch, and she's gonna go in for the ribs, slam her palm right into the middle of his back.
When you do that, he goes tumbling over the edge and lands dead. That's action. You have bonus action left.
The other guy is right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a flurry of blows attack against the guy. That's a 23.
Yeah, that fucking hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 4.
What does it look like?
She's gonna try to copy Benny. Roundhouse kick that dude off of that ladder.
When you do that, something clicks. And you see almost as if every point in her body could be abstracted away, and you could see a wireframe of the movements that she executes. And you mirror them perfectly as you kick this guy in the chest, and he, ladder in hand, goes flying into the no man's land. And you land in front of Harissa.
Harissa and Spinks are just kind of like just together look over the side to like where the guy just like landed, look back at June, and just both put their hand up for a high five.
She double high fives both of them.
Yes.
Isaac, your defenders are keeping the wall clear. You notice none of it. Everything has zeroed in on you and this man wrapped in the tendrils of the beating heart.
So Isaac leans in. He throws his axe to the ground. He goes into underneath his flannel shirt and pulls out a little, he puts it in the mouth of this individual, and then he leans in past his eyes into his ear. He just says, "Now I need you to do me a little favor. Warn the people of Agravar that Raleigh is guarded by the spirit of this wood. And if they want to have an actual conversation, to be more presenting next time."
Roll me an intimidation check, please. With advantage.
Yay. That's a 22.
22. Let's fucking go.
He squeaks in assent.
You'll do. And he'll release the spectral vines and walk away. Just back turn him and go help guard.
What? I don't. Do I just go? What do you want? What do you want?
Go! And he just shouts.
He is clamoring back, and just tears off and is kicking up a trail of dust, silhouetted against the setting sun. Isaac, that was a hell of a turn.
It's it. That's all I got. I just want to get close to so I can be able to defend.
Okay. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Isaac, as you walk up to guard, you, out of the corner of your eye, see something coming. Shield up. 2 arrows. Fully blocked. Guard, it's your turn.
He's just going down the line. There's a person, kill. There's a person, kill. There's a person, kill. We don't need to be thinking that much about it right now, boys and girls. Guard is in guard mode. Bonus action. I'm going to say, I'm just going to encourage Big Paul to keep killing the guy in the trench.
I'm on it.
Have fun. Guard is going to approach the next guy, take the axe, shake the blood off from the last guy, just bring it down into the guy's clavicle. That is an 11 damage.
You slice him through on the bias, and he falls into 2 pieces.
No bombs this time. I'm sorry, listeners. No bombs this time. But I will... the ones that are sort of out in the open, I'm just going to try to choose one and just pick up 14.
Okay, yeah, 14 hits. You get this guy right between the eyes. Dead on his sheet. You have 1 down. Big Paul goes ahead and crushes this guy's skull. Rolled very well. And he is just fully dead. And so there is basically one that has managed to get into range of the wall. Guard, I am going to give you 1 more opportunity attack here.
11, and I'll add Bless to that if I need it.
You don't. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 14 damage.
I think you just put the butt of your axe into this guy, and it just spears it. He just, drives onto the butt of your axe, just straight through his chest.
I feel like half this fight is me stabbing people and, slowly peeling them off my weapon.
He is just fully fucking dead. But 4 of them do manage to get through to the wall, and they get a ladder up. And they are going to take a couple of them are going to take swings on Isaac. They're just throwing wild haymakers and bullshit at you, just not able to land a hit even a little bit, clanking off the shield and missing entire. June, you see a little dust cloud of a fracas happening at the foot of the wall directly beneath you. There is a ladder that has just gotten up as well. What do you do?
I'm going to throw a dart. Oh, that's a nat 20, baby.
Nice.
Ooh,
Very nice.
Very good.
Amazing. Go ahead and give me damage.
That is a 5.
So you see that you hit this guy just right through the back of his head, and he I don't feel so good. And he tries to swing on Isaac and just fully yoinks the leg out of a nearby sheep, sending one of his comrades tumbling into the trenches. Kill one, and then there's another one that falls into the trenches. It is Isaac's turn, and the last ladder has just come down, and there are 3 more of these recruits that are trying to get it back up. 2 of them have hands on the ladder. One of them is sprawled out in...
Isaac's gonna walk up to him. What are y'all doing?
What do you mean, man? We're fighting for Agravar. We need that resin if we're gonna lick the Empress. Are
y'all looking around? Look around. It's just fire and freaking sheep running around. And there's them by themselves.
Insight check.
18.
An 18. Isaac, this man's pupils are pretty fucking insanely dilated.
Oh, you've gotta be shit. And I'm just gonna sock him in the face.
Roll me an unarmed strike.
This is non-lethal, but 4 points of damage. I can put some. Will smite kill him? I just want to knock him out.
You just. I mean, you don't need to divine smite him. You knock him upside the jaw, and he just kind of goes sprawling into a trench and is just fully unconscious.
I look to the other 2. Go on, get.
That is a bonus action to give it over to an NPC. Roll me an intimidation check.
Nat 20.
Yes!
Nice. Yes.
Bad.
They fucking scatter. Even the one that's down in the trench that got toppled off of his sheep scatters up and runs. And you actually hear, kind of from a distance, you hear Big Paul. Should I stop them, or are we letting them go? What's the situation here?
Let them go.
All right. Reasonable. A merciful move, Isaac. And they run off. As you start to kind of become more aware of your surroundings, you catch little glimpses of fall back. Everyone, back. We got to get down. Everybody. Regroup. Fall back into the trees. They can't get us in the trees. It is now early evening, and the sun is beginning to set over the far coast of the Western Wealds. Everything has been quiet for a moment, and you heard some rustling in the woods, sounds of potential regrouping, but nothing suggests. You all seem to find yourselves with a little bit of downtime. And we are going to start with guard. You finish cleaning the blood and viscera off of your axe, and Big Paul hoists himself up from the trenches, using his own axe as a bit of a crutch, and he walks over to you. Guard, everything all right over here?
Everything is fine up here. How are you?
I'm all right. I feel like that was a little too easy.
You think there's more to come?
And he kind of looks over at Isaac, who has only very recently scared away the last of these farmers, and he kind of raises his axe. Isaac! What say you?
I mean, if I know Agravar, they definitely got a few more tricks up their sleeves before they're gonna call it quits.
Do you know what sort of tricks they might have up these sleeves that they wear?
Can I do like a history check?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Ooh, that's a 16.
Okay. On a 16, we are going to flash back.
Fuck.
For a moment.
You walked me into that, you piece of shit.
Oh, Christ. Isaac, you stand at a village on the far western edge of the eastern Wields. You stand at the head of a squadron of men as part of a force that, with Imperial troops, is hundreds strong. You have just brought down the exterior wall of a mining community that dared not tithe to the Empressar. Isaac, what was this town called?
I don't know why, but evening's dawn.
All right. They put up a fight, and you and the other wardens were the ones to ultimately break the siege. You did this by way of a strategy that was recommended to you by one of Katarin's sisters. She recommended that the wardens strike up a deal with the faltering defensive forces of Evening's Dawn. They be given amnesty if they let you through the front door to take back what rightfully belongs to the Empressar. Enough of the troops gave in, and at the end of the day, the Agravar wardens walked into Evening's Dawn and killed all but one of them. You are standing in front of the last person in Evening's Dawn who fought against you and whom you have been instructed to behead by your commander, Commander Antony. She is a tall woman with tightly woven braids that sink around her as her head is down against the ground. And Commander Antony stands over her, watching. Axtrummer, this last one is your responsibility.
Oh, all for me? I appreciate it, Commander.
See that you make it a clean cut. I intend to return her head to the Lord Agra.
All right, how you doing down there? You, ready for this?
You son of a bitch! And she kind of writhes, sort of rope bound around her wrist, kind of digging into the skin, and she...
For the most part, y'all put up a good fight. Me and my fellow compatriots weren't here. Maybe you would have held out a little bit longer. Fight's over.
When you say that the fight is over, her head shoots up, and you see that her eyes are this deep violet and blazing with righteous indignation. She looks at you and says, I only hope that someday you too will face the axe in fighting for your own tenuous freedom.
Isaac leans in. If that day is to come, let's hope I'm smart enough to not take offers that I know can be nothing but faulty. He touches his forehead to hers. All right. Eyes open to close.
and we cut back. Isaac, you know what a siege of the Agra Wardens looks like, and it isn't this.
Isaac looks around at these basically farm hands that Guard has very meticulously butchered. Well, Big Paul, this isn't anything that I don't know Agravar like I thought I did. Something else. It's something else.
I mean, I think there's probably a lot of that going around, huh? You and Guard seem to... I suppose you weren't kidding about the god stuff, were you?
Oh, you're new to this. That's right. Oh, Big Paul, BP. So me and God, we had some bad vegetables out in the wilds, and
we met a blood tree.
A blood tree.
It's here.
It is?
And Guard points to Isaac.
Me? No, BP. As you can see, I am no tree.
No, I clearly...
Did you not ask it to grab that guy for you?
I mean, there were vines, and then I was like, oh, those are handy. Grab that guy. And I kind of thought it, and then
they were also rather blood-like, so perhaps that is to what God refers?
Oh, that makes sense. That tracks.
Guard, you say there's a whole tree of this, huh?
Roots, at least. I've met them once or twice before.
Does one meet roots?
Doesn't one meet anything they encounter?
Now, I enjoy philosophy as much as the next person. However, I feel as though we have a dangerous siege upon us. Oh, God, that one's still moving.
1 second.
We're going to jump really quickly to Benny, June, and Harissa. June, you are sort of standing in the post-fight rush. That tenseness that takes time to work through every muscle after you have just fought to defend your home and your very life. And as you're kind of standing there in that moment, Benny puts a hand on your shoulder. You did well, Juniper. Honestly, better than I expected.
You're talking about me right now? Can we talk about you? And that dope-ass shit that you pulled?
You should see me do it in a ball gown, Juniper.
See, you say that, and I think it's fun. I don't think I've worn a dress my entire life, but I know someone who used to say that.
I'm sure you do.
And she always told me, just wait till you're fighting in ball gowns. Where did you fight in a ball gown?
Many places. Yes, I'd say the capital city is most likely where I had to do what fighting I've had to do. It's a rough place, the capital city.
Were you fighting alongside anyone else?
Occasionally, Juniper. But never your mother.
Insight check. That's a nat 20.
Let's go!
Yo, what is
+3 for 23.
Yes!
But just give us all the deeds, please.
Amazing. Holy shit. On a nat 20 insight, you instantly glean several things. 1. You believe that this woman never fought alongside your mother with such a ferocity that it feels almost supernatural. There is a surety of truth here that is so unshakable that it almost changes the way you consider truth. As if everything that you had thought to be true before came tinged with a little charcoal smudge of doubt. And this is pristine and unblemished.
Truest damn thing I ever did here.
Beyond that, you glean very clearly that this woman knows something about your mother, and you don't know what.
Benny, why have we not worked together? Why haven't we trained? I've worked for you in that store. You fired me so many times. By the way, I did not paint that shit on the front of your store. I would never disrespect you in that way.
Yes, Isaac has explained the situation to me. Apparently it was some sort of god.
Yeah,
Today I learned gods exist.
There's gods.
Goodness gracious.
There's multiple gods. I'm still...
Well, I mean, if there's going to be one, there'd probably be more than one, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the small bit I'm able to wrap my head around. But when Mama left, why were we not training? You knew that I was continuing my training, but I learned so much from just watching you kick the shit out of that ladder.
She gives you a little nod. Her posture kind of shifts. She stands up a little straighter and almost leans back in her stance. June, the woman who just fought to defend her home, is not the same girl that worked in my store. You had not yet taken the responsibility for the consequences of your actions.
How am I supposed to learn any of that by myself? I was by myself, Benny. I was expected to go against myself and support the actions of this town, which, like, look at us now. And you were there all along.
Juniper, your situation is rather unlike your mother's and her sister's. Your training will necessarily be different because you are removed from the rest of the world. One of the hardest lessons that you have had to learn is that often, for the sake of your long-term goals, you have to act against your own impulsive instincts. And I am sorry that you had to learn that on your own. I am very sorry that there was no one here to teach you that. But your training is not going to look like your mother's training. It's going to look like yours. Now that said, you are overdue for some fundamentals. Your posture needs work, and you're a little slow on that third punch. There's no reason for it, frankly. You should be able to get 4 within the same amount of time. We'll get there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's. I'm still trying to use my hips to and like get that full swing in, but it's just taking a little bit too much time when I wrap back and come in with the.
In the meantime, you are learning an important lesson. When this siege is broken, and it's not over yet, come and find me.
I will.
We have much to discuss.
We do.
And she leaps off of the ledge and lands on the ground.
See, like
in a gentle fall.
Did anybody else see that? Did anybody else know that Benny was able to do that? Like, unbelievable.
Harissa, you do see this, for what it's worth.
I think Harissa is a little preoccupied. I think she was listening and sort of saw things out of the corner of her eye. But she's still fixed on the tree line. I think she's just kind of like watching for movement and just seeing for signs. And Spinks, however, was a lot more wrapped in the conversation that was taking place. And I want to say that while they were talking about dancing in ball gowns, he'd taken a bit of Saphra's poncho and was sort of trying to like imitate little kicks and stuff whilst kind of wrapping it around himself. Just sort of seeing what he could do. Not very well, mind you. But he sort of like peered over the edge and saw Benny sort of like jump down. And then he looked back up at June. Are you going to fight in the dress?
God, I hope not. God, sorry. And she looks at him. Sorry. I really hope I don't. I've never worn a dress before.
I've never worn a dress before, but, if you learn, can you teach me? I think I would look quite nice. He kind of like pats the cloth down around him and sort of like does a little twirl, like fluffs his like frills a little bit, like I don't know. I think there is nice movement, big skirts, big swish.
I think you look quite fetching.
Thank you. Isaac called me ugly.
He did not. Oh, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
June's gonna like she's gonna squat down to get eye level with Mr. Spinks. Don't you ever listen to that. Don't ever believe that. You are so beautiful.
Really? You think so?
I do. I know so. I know so. And Isaac couldn't. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Harissa kind of hears this and sort of turns, sort of like a little bit towards him. When did Isaac call you ugly? And then you just suddenly realize, like, you can see Spinks like, oh shit. She doesn't know that I snuck out that time. Well, he didn't say it directly, but I could see it in his eyes every time he looks at me. I see.
Roll me a deception check.
Are you do it?
Oh
yes!
my god, boy. This is so silly.
I was so ready for it. Rolling against yourself.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so
With two
down
different stat
for it.
blocks, honestly. Spinks is lying. Spinks is lying.
See right through that shit, is what I do.
Yeah.
Spinks, we will talk about this later, but come over here for a moment. And you kind of, you know how like a child, when they know they're in trouble with their mom and she's being really calm? Just like a kind of like, when I get home, I'm gonna beat you. No, not that bad. But you kind of like goes like, you know, head sort of like, head kind of down, sort of like goes up to Harissa. Come and sit on my shoulder, Spinks. And he comes up and he climbs up. I'm sorry. Spinks. There is times for loud and games and fun. Now is the time. What happened a moment ago was no joke. You see that tree line? Yes. We need to make sure no more bad people come out of it. Will you help me? Yes. What am I looking for? Well, you need to look for things that are not the wind. It is a skill that you pick up. You see those trees, those branches moving, that is the wind. But if you see something moving against the wind, moving when there is no wind, hearing sounds, hearing the birds being startled, we need to keep our eyes and ears open, huh? Okay, I will watch with you. So she kind of goes back to sort of just being very eyes on the forest.
And with that, I think we're going to move into a short rest. Everyone can go ahead and do the hit die if they haven't yet, regenerate bond, etc. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to do during this brief downtime to prepare?
I think Isaac would talk to Benny.
We can do that conversation. Is there anything else anybody else wants to do in terms of setup?
I'm going to distribute some chocolate amongst the players. So I have, for those out there, it is Goodberry, reskinned as little chocolate balls with a chilly kick.
Oh, I need chocolate so bad right now.
The way Granny Rosa used to make. So, she is going to sort of send Spinks around with a little kind of like tin of chocolate balls, and sort of like everyone can have two each.
You guys all have 2 good berries to add to your inventory. It takes an action to consume, restores 1 hit point. Hell yeah! Wonderful! Dope. Isaac, I think that you find, you sort of get back in a rally. You're looking for Benny. I think that you find Benny in the general store. It's sort of dark, but the door is ajar, and she is sort of just slumped down along a shelf of wares.
He walks in just nonchalantly. Benny, store looks nice.
Uh-huh.
What? You gonna discuss? We gonna discuss the things that transpired and whatnot, or are we just gonna?
She pulls a bottle of wine from beside her, uncorks it, and just pulls a huge swig. What things would that be, Isaac?
I only knew one other person that could pull the moves that you moved around.
Yeah, you want to try that? You want to try that line again?
Just like that.
That was. I think that meant to come across a little bit more intimidating than it did.
You know what? You're trying to get in my head. I know about y'all. Y'all try to use your words to mess with everything going on in here, but I'll let you know there's nothing going on in here, Benny. Well, I have the higher ground here.
Isaac, a surer thing there has never been.
Did you know Catherine?
Personally, no.
Did the Empress send you?
Gods on earth, no. I don't work for the Empressor. Isaac, rest assured.
But you work for somebody.
Now that's an interesting question. Did Catherine?
I mean, she worked for her family in the end.
She was certainly something of a renegade. That is true.
Yeah. Those 2 clowns. Alright, but back at the present day and whatnot.
Certainly. Whatever you'd like to talk about, Isaac Axstromer.
Told you. Nothing up here. Alright, let's focus. Okay. We need a scout of some sort just to check around the vicinity of Raleigh so we don't have any openings or anything, and seeing as how you move like a damn gazelle, I was thinking you'd be able to cover that for us.
She stands up, corks the bottle, sets it down on the ground, walks up to you. She's a good deal shorter than you.
Shield up.
You put the shield up in front of her. She puts her hand up. She puts her hand on the shield and looks up at you. You owe me. Gives your face a little pat. Spins around you and walks out the door.
Mr. Spinks, he would like to thank, what is it, the defenders?
Mr. Spinks, what are you talking about?
I'm thanking the defenders. They give money. They give much money, and I like it. It gives me new dresses, makes me look very special.
The defenders of what?
Of the podcast.
The podcast.
The Patreon, you know? That thing that gives us the money that is helpful.
What do you pay the tree on exactly? Who is Darlene Wallace? And why do I feel so compelled to think she is awesome?
Because they provide me with the space to be fantastic. Without them, I could not be.
Who is Kay Parker?
Kay Parker is good too.
Why are they so
They're
cool?
so cool. They're so cool because look, you see your tattoos. You see these things that are on you. See this badass tattoo?
Yes.
Because of them.
It is badass.
It is badass, you see? And then I get one for me, one for Harissa. Could not do it without these. Without Darlene, Kay, and Eldest Barry.
Is it really the eldest Barry?
You know, I don't know. I've never seen the youngest Barry.
I do not know either.
Maybe we should ask them.
Yes, I will summon the eldest Barry.
Okay, I wait.
I do not know how to summon the eldest Barry.
Oh. You think June would know?
No.
Oh.